Next news. Breaking news.
Right now, the headline is huge, but the real story is even bigger. President Trump just announced that the leader of the Tren de Aragua has been taken out in a lethal strike, and it's not just another crime update. It's a message to cartels, traffickers, gang bosses, and every foreign predator who thought that oceans, borders, and failed governments could shield them from American justice. The Trump administration is no longer treating these monsters like paperwork problems. It's treating them like national security threats. If that's true, then everything about how America fights cartel terror just changed. And let's be very clear about what's on the table here. Tren de Aragua is not some local street crew. This is a vicious foreign gang tied to murder, kidnapping, extortion, drug smuggling, sex trafficking, and terror inside American communities. Families have buried children. Women have been preyed upon. Entire neighborhoods have paid the price for years of weak borders and elite denial, much of it fueled by the chaos that poured in when the Biden administration refused to secure this country. President Trump campaigned on ending that nightmare, and now we're watching promises kept in real time. But the biggest development is not just that one gang leader is gone. The biggest development is that the Trump administration appears to be merging immigration enforcement, anti-cartel operations, trafficking crackdowns, and international targeting into one America First security doctrine. No safe haven, no sanctuary, no excuses. And that should make every cartel boss very nervous tonight. And while we're talking about protecting our homes and restoring strength, let me quickly share something personal with you. You've probably seen the clip, it's gone viral, of Joe Rogan with Mel Gibson, where they talk about people facing serious health struggles and seeing dramatic turnarounds. Rogan mentions light-based therapies working at the cellular level. Gibson says it's straight, the stuff works, and that got my attention. In my own life, I watched something similar. For a long time, my wife dealt with constant discomfort and anxiety, and it wore on all of us. Then we started looking into red light therapy and what it could do for recovery, calm, and daily wellness. Jonathan Otto, he has all the tools, and he's done a number of interviews right here on this channel that you must see. Now, the resources are available to you at myredlight.com, and that's where I want you to go to learn more. You can also check it out there, MyRedLight, but make sure you use myredlight.com and use NNN25 for individual items or NNN30 for bundles. You will not regret it. Now back to the story, because what comes next shows that this is about far more than one operation overseas. Now here's the part the corporate media will try to bury. The immigration story, the cartel story, the trafficking story, and even the election integrity story are all starting to connect. In Minneapolis, anti-ICE activists reportedly tried to interfere as agents moved on a suspect tied to 57 pounds of meth. In New Jersey, an ICE agent was struck by a fleeing suspect. Now, DHS Secretary Mark-Wayne Mullen is signaling that even polling places are not automatically off limits if the goal is protecting lawful American elections. That's not random. That is a doctrine that's taking shape. Let's go to the moment first. You may have seen this. It is absolutely remarkable. This is President Trump taking out the head of Tren de Aragua.
Breaking news, President Trump says U.S. forces have conducted a lethal kinetic strike that took out the leader of the brutal street gang Tren de Aragua. Now, the gang originally started in Venezuela, but its footprint has spread throughout our country like a virus in recent years. And they are vicious. They murder American citizens. They kidnap young women. They rob and maim people. They smuggle guns across state lines. They import deadly drugs into our communities. And they sexually traffic young women after they smuggle them into America. Well, President Trump finally getting justice for the carnage that this gang has unleashed on this country, writing on Truth Social, quote, "During my campaign, I pledged to expel these monsters from our country and bring justice to the families of those they slaughtered, including the precious 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari, 22-year-old Laken Riley, and countless other beautiful souls." 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari, you'll remember her, was sexually assaulted and then brutally murdered, allegedly at the hands of two Venezuelan nationals who the federal government suspects are members of Tren de Aragua. She fought so hard that prosecutors said she left bite and scratch marks on her attackers. And then who can forget 22-year-old Laken Riley? She was kidnapped and brutally murdered after a likely TDA gang member, who the feds say had TDA tattoos and wore TDA clothing, tried to rape her. She fought as hard as she could to stop that monster. And now those families have justice today.
Justice, swift and kinetic. Trump didn't just make a statement, he backed it with force. Now here's the actual strike footage. Trump Daily Post posting this. This is what President Trump posted, the actual strike. Look at that. Goodbye. Unclassified drone attack footage. The blast sending the warning loud and clear. Now we're seeing the fallout as suspected Tren de Aragua members shipped back to Venezuela react with pure rage. One of the members of Tren de Aragua calls them all dogs. Many of the detainees are accused of several serious crimes.
Malditos perros todos, son unos malditos para que se claro, malditos. Sapo.
Strange, they're all wearing Marvel Comics t-shirts. I wonder if that's a gang sign or something. So while thugs curse the system, it's cracking down. Next, we'll show you how the same pro-illegal insanity here is at home. In Minneapolis, left-wing activists swarm ICE agents trying to grab a meth suspect after court. Minnesota liberal retards surround ICE agents and try to stop them interfering in an apprehension of an illegal alien named Junior de Jesus Herrera Barrios after his court hearing for possessing an intent to distribute 57 pounds of meth. Who are they fighting for? That's the question.
You! Get the off! Get the off! Get the out of here! Get the out of here! That's your fucking face, bitch! You bitch! You bitch!
Blowing whistles, interfering with ICE operations, they should all be arrested immediately, in my opinion. So the activists weren't defending some harmless migrant. They were interfering around a man accused of major meth case. Next, the charging details show exactly who they're fighting for. Chaotic scenes in Minneapolis. ICE agents apprehend Junior de Jesus Herrera in possession of 27 kilograms of meth. Traffic stop leads to 57-pound meth seizure. Mugshots of those who were arrested. Black and white, 57 pounds of meth, 3 men charged. Now the conversation moves to election security, where DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin says only American citizens should be in line to vote. And of course, that's one of the left's favorite reasons to melt down.
We see incidences where we're having 20, 30 ballots being mailed to the same address. But those people who have passed away, they may have received a ballot. That doesn't mean that they're able to send it back. Well, it doesn't mean that it's not being used either. We're saying we're going to make sure. Are you explicitly trying to curtail mail-in voting? No, what we're saying is make sure that they're legally able to vote. That's it. If you're illegally able to vote, we want you to vote. And we want to make sure you can trust it. We do this in Oklahoma. My wife and I voted just actually yesterday. We flew back to Oklahoma just to be able to vote in our primary coming up. And we walked in there. Everybody knows me. We go in, and I still have to show my ID. She has to show her ID. You know what? Perfect. I'm glad. They had to make sure that we're registered to vote. Wonderful. What is wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. That is saying that we have a secure election, and all of us, regardless if you're Republican or Democrat, we should all agree that we want to have a very secure election, and only American citizens, regardless of your party, but only American citizens are voting in our federal elections. Briefly, at your hearing recently, you didn't rule out sending ICE agents to the polls in the midterms. Are you willing to rule out sending ICE agents? No, what I said is that we would only be there if a threat is arise. So you're not ruling it out here today? Keep in mind, why would ICE be there? Because the only people that should be voting there is American citizens. There shouldn't be any immigration enforcement. So this should be a mute deal for any Democrat. Why would there be a circumstance where you would need ICE agents? Keep in mind, ICE agents are there to flex if we need to. So you saw ICE at TSA lines, not processing, but in the soft areas. If a threat were to arise, for whatever reason, at a polling station, say a bomb threat would be called in, our ICE agents are more than just immigration custom enforcement. They're also trained to have SRT, which means that we can have an emergency team respond quickly. The only reason why we would be there is not for voter identification. It'd be because a law enforcement is needed, and the local law enforcement would be part of that conversation. So we wouldn't show up on our own. We would be getting asked to show up. But not for immigration purposes, because, as I said, the only people that should be in line are American citizens, so there should be no reason to have any type of that. I don't want to cut you off.
So his point, very simple. Secure the polls, stop pretending it's controversial. Next, a liberal on Timcast blurts out the real Democrat fear, illegal mothers being scared off by ICE presence. A liberal on Timcast reveals why Democrats oppose ICE at polling places, illegal mothers watching anchor babies vote.
I want ICE at voting ballot.
That is weird. Sure, I'll answer that. I'll answer that because I think it's intimidation.
Of who? Yeah, of who?
Why
would a legal immigrant be?
Why should ICE be at those? Why?
Why would Democrats be afraid of it?
Well, but answer my question. Why?
Yeah,
to
prevent
illegal immigrants from trying to vote. Okay, so illegal immigrants cannot vote, and I will tell you this. So it's actually quite simple.
Can they try?
No one should care. Anybody can try to do anything. Okay?
Great. So what's wrong with having ICE there?
It is okay. First of all, if you're a family,
we have guards at banks.
I'll give you an example.
People can't steal money from
banks.
Let's
just say you're the mother. Let's just say you're a mother and you're not voting. You're undocumented and you're there with your kids that are old enough to vote. Mom wants to go with the kids and watch them vote, whatever the case may be. I would imagine a lot of people would be very intimidated and they wouldn't go there and they wouldn't vote because there are ICE agents there.
Hold on. Intimidated by law enforcement?
Wait. Your example is some kids that have birthright citizenship from an illegal mother. That's your example.
Anchor babies.
I'm giving you.
That's your example.
I'm giving you examples where I have talked to people that would be intimidated.
They shouldn't be voting either. To be frank.
So criminals
agree.
Yeah. Stay away.
There are people. There are people that are very.
Should banks have guards?
Yeah, but
why? But you're not allowed. You can't take money from a bank.
You can't take money. Illegals
can't. Should banks have guards? That tells you the quiet part out loud about who Democrats are protecting. Meanwhile, in New Jersey, the danger ICE faces on the streets gets even more real. A suspect hits an agent with a car and takes off.
That ICE was attempting to apprehend a suspect when that suspect ran away, jumped in a vehicle, and then drove off, striking the ICE agent. The agent fired his firearm, we're told, at the vehicle and reportedly struck it. The suspect then kept driving and has not been located as of right now. Now, it's been just a short time, but as of the last update coming in from Fox Philadelphia, that suspect has still not been located. Now, the agent reportedly sustained unknown injuries, and it's not known just yet if that suspect was injured in the gunfire. Again, all of this developing here at this hour, and you can see an aerial view of what is still a very active scene. You can see what looks to be that entire area shut.
So after seeing an ICE agent struck during an arrest attempt, Trump's closing message lands even harder. He puts it plainly: import the third world and you become it. President Trump says it perfectly. If you import people from third world countries, you quickly become a third world country, and there's not a thing you can do about it. Make America great again.
And we're putting them all over our fields and ruining the fields and killing the birds and all of this. And the environmentalists say they like them, but they really are a tremendous eyesore. They ruined. Europe has gone, as you know, it's gone to it. Europe isn't even recognizable anymore between immigration and because of environmental things like the windmills, which are taking over. The people hate them. The energy is by far the most expensive. And we're fighting very hard to make sure that they don't get built. I hope we don't have one built during my administration.
So, what does it all mean? It means the Trump administration is redefining transnational gangs and cartels from a law enforcement nuisance into a hostile security threat. The old model was arrest, process, extradite, and hope. The new model is identify, disrupt, remove leadership, break the network, and deny safe haven anywhere. That's why the killing of the Tren de Aragua leader matters beyond one man. It tells every cartel and gang commander that distance will not save you, foreign soil will not save you, and bureaucratic loopholes will not save you either. It also explains why ICE actions, meth busts, trafficking cases, and election security debates are now showing up in the same conversation. The Trump administration sees one battlefield, the defense of the American nation. And I'll tell you this is what America First looks like when it's serious. See, President Trump's not playing the old Washington game where officials issue statements and hold hearings and let criminal empires keep feeding off the blood of our people. He's showing strength, clarity, and the will to act. And look who is furious. The same left that swarms ICE arrests, excuses illegal entry, downplays cartel violence, and now melts down at the thought of law enforcement near polling places. They're telling you exactly whose interests they protect, and it's not yours. The choice is simple. Do we stand with American families, secure borders, lawful elections, and agents risking their lives to defend this country? Or do we let foreign gangs, drug traffickers, and their political enablers keep poisoning the nation? Share this report everywhere. And subscribe if you're done with the media lies, and let me know in the comments, do you support the Trump administration treating cartels and gangs like national security threats, yes or no? Let's have a conversation, and let's keep you connected. Thousands of patriots have already texted the words raw feed to 844-840-4963. I want to make sure you stay in the loop. So simply text those words, and we're going to send you a message every single night, and you will reap the rewards and benefits of getting the news when YouTube, the algorithm, or the notifications never arrive. I'll send them directly to you. And since we're winning so much, let's celebrate together. America 250 is here, and we've got some merch so you can show your patriotic pride. Check out the merch shelf below this video, or simply go to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.